Sunday, Sunday, fun day. You know, there's that guy that announces for the UFC, the Let's Get Ready to Rumble guy. He's worth millions and millions and millions. I think I can turn something into this Sunday, Sunday, fun day thing. I don't know who hired me to announce it, but sure sounds good. Before I go jibber jabbering anymore, I want to wish a big special happy birthday to Brad Medved. Brad is a follower of this YouTube channel and some other social media ordeals. And big happy birthday to you, Brad. Hope all is well. Enjoy your day. A couple hay Freds never hurt anybody on their birthday. Yeah, all right, folks. Breeding season has begun. We got a lot to talk about. I'm going to share with you what I'm doing this year. Whether you agree, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, this is what I'm doing. Number one, I'm 2 weeks late in starting for what I wanted to. Life just said differently. I wanted the full-fledged daily, every morning AI breeding to start taking place July 1st. Life kind of said different. Had to pick the poison. We had tremendous hay weather at that time, and I picked my poison of, hay. I mean, you can't have one without the other. This farm has to have calves and cattle, but you also have to feed them. And it's not the end of the world here starting 2 weeks later than what I wanted to. That was my date. In fact, it shrugs a lot of shoulders for a lot of people up here where I'm at. That's early. Calving in April can be very dangerous up here. We do get what I like to call, what I hate to call, calf killing weather in April, late March. But the head of cattle has grown, and that's a decision I made. Now, to be very honest with you, I'm probably a month late from AI. I wanted to start mid-June with 5 specific, well, non-specific, just cows. 2, 3, or 4 year calving cows. Sorry about the audio here, folks. The wind just picked up. This is the year where I AI breed for bulls, to keep bulls back. I went with the decision after some healthy talks with Gen X, who's been an absolute blessing and always has been to deal with. I chose and went after five straws of the Bull Superior. I'm very happy to tell you that one of those straws was used this morning. The absolute goal here is to hopefully get 2 or 3 bulls out of the straws that are going to be used. And I know me personally, I need 2 of them. I will keep the first 2, or what I deem to my liking. But not saying that other bulls can't be kept back from what I'm using with AI. Anyway, AI breeding started this morning. Started off with a vengeance for us. We got 5 of them. I'll also tell you that 1021, that's got a kind of a dark cloud over her head. There's quite a few of you that said get rid of her. I can't argue with you. My little heart's giving her 1 more year. 1021 was bred to prime cut. Remember, we're talking, excuse me, we're talking all Gen X here. For all the reds, any of the reds that come in within heat during AI breeding program, and even after AIing's done, even if the bulls are out here, we catch a red that's in heat. Of course, if the bulls didn't get her first, I'm using for a 2nd year now Convoy, which is obviously a red Angus bull through Gen X. I believe I got 15 straws, 10 straws of Convoy. Okay, here's another thing that I'm doing. If you can keep up with my, I don't rehearse this, okay? Anything black gets bred. All right, how do I say this? I'm slowly returning this into a black baldy cattle herd. I'm sick and tired of the pure blacks, don't get me wrong. I have a good amount of control over these cattle because they are dealt with multiple times a day. But I've had some humdingers here in the past. And if there's one thing you can't escape, is a black baldy's temperament compared to just a full-on black Angus. What I'm trying to tell you is, well, 467, and actually I think you were one of the ones that got bred here this morning, if I'm not mistaken. You big pig. On this farm, you give me a full-on black cow, she's going to get bred to Victor. Victor is a Gen X Hereford bull. You give me a black baldy that comes within heat, she will be bred to one of two, either prime cut or long distance, which are both full-on black Angus bulls with Gen X. I believe most of you understand what I'm trying to say here. Now we're trying to be very careful with the straws from long distance, which I had a few left over from last year, and then I got another 20 straws. Long distance is a 4-star rated. I'm going to use my lingo here. Ooh, it's onions for lunch. It's not good. Long distance is a 4-star rated calving ease bull, and yes, I do put tremendous amount of stock in that. What I'm trying to say is we're trying to be careful with the long distance straws as far as the heifers. Sorghum silage. They're doing pretty good on it. In fact, they're doing very good on it. I just fed this about an hour and a half ago. To include a bale of hay here and a bale of hay right there. I'll explain more about the feed here in 2 seconds. All right, let's talk about calving ease. There's a lot of you maybe watching this doesn't understand what I'm talking about, and it's okay that you don't. Calving ease, for the lack of better words, means that calf is going to come out smaller. I'm murdering my explanations here today. The calf is going to come out smaller. So, I mean, let's use our brains here. The first time calving heifer, that proves to be good. I don't think we need to have an anatomy class here. Kind of got the best of both worlds here though, because prime cut, even though prime cut is not a very heavily glorified calving ease bull, he is a 2-star rated calving ease. But long distance is the go-to. And then of course anything bred Hereford, which of course would be a pure black, 1068 comes within heat, she will be bred to Victor AI. And Victor is also a high marked calving ease bull, which of course an older cow like this doesn't really need that kind of attention, but it doesn't hurt. And then, not to mention, I've got a lot of pure black heifers. So what we're dealing with this year is prime cut. I don't know what the hell you got to yell about, you big brute. We're dealing with prime cut, long distance, Convoy, Victor, and for the 5 specialty breedings within hopes of bulls for breeding, Superior. Go on, get you a snack now. There you go. Had another calf here just the other day. Nice beautiful heifer calf. That might even be her right there. 1122, it is her. She was sired by one of the cleanup bulls. Hey little girl, huh? There you go. You weren't this calm when I was having to tag you and give you a shot yesterday. Oh, there you go. Ah, you little runt. Drop yet, don't you? No, you don't. Never mind. Let's get out of this wind a little bit, do some more jibber jabber, and then I got to get my butt in gear here. All right, so here it is, the middle of summer. Grazing's going on, and here all the cattle are up at the yard eating silage and hay. Well, I'm still on supplemental feeding, and it'll end at some point, but it's gonna be a bit. That beautiful dry spell that we had for making hay really took a hit on the pastures. You know, I don't get into comments, negative comments too much. I really don't. I don't have time to bleed into them. A couple people said I was ruining my pastures with this many cows. I had no comment for that. All right, so they are now on paddock number, what is that, number 5 or 6. They got the first third of it. I know you can't see it very well. They got the first third of it this morning, and they went out there like a vengeance, like they always do. Well, somewhere's around noon, 1 o'clock, I start putting feed out for their supplemental. Well, this is the time of day right now. They come up in shifts, and they're pretty dedicated to them, where they all leave the grazing system and come on up here, whether it's for a drink, conjure around, or in this case, they all found the supplemental feed. But I can assure you, even with this feed up here, they will all make their convoy way back down to the grazing system within, my bet is within about an hour. and if they finish up what I gave them, they will not get any more, because there is a lot to clean up in that 1/3 section there of that new paddock. There's no reason why it wouldn't, but my new water tubs I put out and everything's working just fine. Of course, I keep a very close eye here on these floats. These things will go to Hades if you're not paying attention. So they're looked at 2-3 times a day. But so far so good. Cattle love them. I did do a small drench of COVID. Oh my God, Corrid. Jesus. In my words, I drenched both tubs about 3-4 days ago. I think I touched on that on an earlier video, but they're doing real good. Doing good. Took a little gamble and I went and raked some hay. In fact, 20 minutes before I started this video, went and raked some hay. I dropped a lot of hay yesterday, a lot. We actually have a haymaking window here right now. Tomorrow, round bales will be flying out of the round baler. I literally cut, and this is pretty big for us, or for me I should say. I cut, I think, about 7 hours yesterday, but it was five different properties. Some of them medium size, some of them small, and just roadway travel. Ended up to be about a 7-hour affair. Well, I snuck one of the properties in Friday at about 5:30, and we had excellent weather, a lot of sun, and then all day yesterday was pretty nice, and then of course this morning, now there's a lot of clouds in the air, but we got a hell of a breeze and a shot of sunlight here and there. So I went ahead and gambled. I double windrow raked this field. It's no more than, hell, it can't be 7-8 acres. Something like, nah, not even that. And if it's ready to be baled tonight at 7 p.m., great. If not, that's all right. It's just one less extra step tomorrow, which there's a lot of steps going on tomorrow. And it'll be the first piece of property that I will pick up with the round baler. So no harm, no foul. We'll see what happens. If it actually is dry tonight by about 6:30, 7 o'clock, it'll be the most beautiful, greenest goat turd hay I can bale. It's actually a alfalfa field. We put in pure seeding 3 years ago, 3 years ago. And the deer really put a big hurting on it. So there's a lot of, it's not good. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of good alfalfa in there, but it's full of a lot of other crap. Great cattle feed though. It's not something that you would bale up and try to sell to customers though, and it just, some odd reason or another, a lot of picker bushes that grow up in it and just a whole bunch of other weeds. But we'll call it good February hay. It's 20 below zero and these cattle don't give a damn. This is just a little stockpile of grass hay here that I, of course, obviously spit out this year. This is just here on reserve for supplemental feeding. I've been feeding out some other stuff though these days. Some, we'll call it some other, either some messed up round bales or some less than stellar hay that was done. Cows are handling it just fine though. They're doing good. So anyway, breeding season started, folks. I hope I explained it to you the best I could. I probably could have done a proper video and given you the readouts and EPDs and showed you the papers and all that, but if you're that interested, maybe it'll be fun for you to take a look. Go to the Gen X website. Prime cut, long distance, convoy, Victor, and Superior. Holstein heifers are doing real good. They're still up on the top of the hill here as well. They'll be up there for about another day or two, supplemented with a 4x5 bale when needed. And I got to tell you, I think we've already got, there's 40 head there. I can assure you 13 or 14 of them are already AI bred. So that continues to go very well. All right, folks. Sunday fun day. I got to get my butt in gear and do something here. Tackle a little bit of the lawn or something. Try and get ahead a little bit, because tomorrow, completely about hay. And we better get it all in too, because Tuesday and Wednesday the floodgates are open. We'll see what we can do. Everybody have a good day. We'll talk to you sooner and later.